everyone, this is Mark Stein with Tournament Dreams College Basketball. I want to thank you for checking out this video today. The purpose of this video is to give you a deeper look, slower look, and a little more in-depth look to the gameplay and the game engine and game mechanics, how it all works when you're playing the game. It's really an under the hood look. Frankly, you really don't even necessarily need to understand or know these things to play the game, because the engine really tells you the results. It reads the results and the dice and the cards for you and tells you what play and what things are occurring throughout the game. But for those that would really like to have that under the hood look, or just want to understand how the game mechanics work together, that's what I'm going to attempt to do here with this video. So I've already preloaded a game here. It's from the 23-24 season. It'll be Marquette and UConn, a Big East matchup. What we'll do is we'll just kind of start a game and walk you through step by step what occurs in the background, what occurs with each click of the various icons, and what dice rolls are happening and what that all means. So first we have the tip-off when you start a new game, and basically what will happen is you'll have the center or 5-man for each team. Their card will be on the game board when it loads and you go to this screen. And real simply, the team with the player that has the higher defensive rebounding rating is going to win the tip. If they happen to be the same number, there'll be a random roll that'll determine who wins the tip, but that's how we do the tip-off. In 10 seconds, we'll run off the clock and we'll know who has the basketball. So this is the playmaker icon right here, the basketball with the player silhouette attacking the rim. And so we'll click that and we'll start the game. So we can see that UConn has won the tip based on Klingen's higher defensive rebounding rating. And now let's dive into what just happened with this playmaker icon click. So you'll notice a few things happen. Number one, when I click the playmaker icon, the first thing to point out is the game clock and the shot clock moved. So when we click this playmaker icon throughout an offensive possession, if it's not a stat recording situation, which I'll explain in a little bit, there's going to be time that comes off the clock. For a change of possession where there is no fast break opportunity, or at the opening tip, it's going to be 10 seconds runs off the clock. The other thing that the playmaker icon will determine, it rolls the possession dice, which is right here. So whoever has the ball will have this possession dice column showing up next to the player lineup that's on the floor. It will be a 1 to 100 roll, and based on this roll, it will determine who on the offensive team that has possession of the ball, who has the ball in their hands for that time segment. You'll see their possession ranges. So Tristan Newton's a 1 to 31, Cam Spencer's a 32 to 50, Stephon Castle's 51 to 72, Alex Caravan is 73 to 82, and Donovan Klingen is 83 to 100. So with that first playmaker icon click, first possession roll was a 56. So Klingen won the tip. It went to Stephon Castle because the 56 was between his 51 to 72, and he brings the ball up the floor to start the game. So that's the first thing, is that roll will determine who has possession of the ball. The second thing that this playmaker icon will do when it's clicked is determine whether the offense or the defense has the upper hand or control of that possession in that time segment of the game. Now, when I say time segment, the average time segment throughout the game and the baseline time segment is 4 seconds. So most of the time you click the playmaker icon, 4 seconds will come off the game and the shot clock. Now, there are situations where it will be a different number. I won't dive into the details of that at the moment. I'll point it out as I'm doing the little gameplay here, but just keep in mind 4 seconds at that time segment baseline. So that's going to occur. But the other thing that's going to occur when we click this is, again, who controls that time segment possession. Now, this is the team power bar right here, the blue and the black bar. The team that has the ball, which in this case is UConn, will have the blue colored bar above their player card. The team on defense will have the black color on their side. And then the number within the bar will determine their offensive power rating for that possession and the defensive power rating for that possession. Now, this number here of 54 and 46, UConn's 54, Marquette's 46, that effectively means that 54% of the time when we click this playmaker icon, UConn should theoretically have the upper hand in that offensive possession. 46% of the time, Marquette would have the upper hand in that particular time segment of the possession. Now, these numbers right here in the power bar are determined by the team offense and defensive power ratings for each team, and then they're compared, and then we fall into this 1 to 100 range for that. So that is the team power bar. Next, we have the playmaker dice, which is right here in the center between the two player names. Now, I'll point out the players here right now are, for UConn, the off team with possession of the ball, to be the player with the ball in their hands. So it's Stefan Castle here. Now, on the opposite side, you'll see his primary defender on the other side, and that's Cam Jones from Marquette. Now, with that, you will see Cam Jones' defensive rating right here, the 34, and you'll see Castle's offensive rating, 20, right here. And every time we click this playmaker icon, we'll determine who has the ball, we'll determine who has control of the possession, and then this playmaker dice roll will come into play. And if control of the possessions with the offense, and that playmaker dice roll is less than the number of the offensive rating of the player with the ball, then they'll make an offensive play. On the flip side, when the defensive team has control of the possession, and we see this dice roll here, a few things can happen. And I will point out too, the dice color will change based on who does have control of the possession. It's black, which means the defensive team is controlling the possession. When that's the case, two things can occur. There could be a steal by the defensive team. Now, how do we determine that? Well, when this playmaker icon was rolled and this playmaker dice was rolled and the possession dice was rolled, also rolled at the same time was the steal dice and the foul dice for Marquette. Now, being that they have control of the possession, there's a potential that Marquette could get a steal based off of their defensive ratings. We see the defensive ratings for the 5 players on the floor. They range from 1 to 61. This steal die is a 1 to 1,000 roll. So if this roll had been 61 or less, Marquette would have stolen the basketball. It did not occur in the situation. The other thing that can happen when the defense has control of that possession is they could commit a foul. They might have control of that possession because they're too physical or they're impeding the progress of the offensive player in creating a foul. The foul dice is rolled and checked, and if it's between 1 to 41 in this case, or when we look at the range of the foul ratings for the Marquette players on the floor, then there would have been a foul committed by Marquette. But the roll was 922 out of 1,000, so that's not between 1 and 41, so no foul occurred. So basically what we had, the first time segment at 10 seconds after the tip, Stephen Castle got the ball. We see here that the playmaker die roll was 10 black, which means Marquette had control of the possession, but there was no foul committed by Marquette, nor was there a steal made by Marquette. And being that Marquette had control of the possession, with that being a black 10, Stefan Castle did not make an offensive play. So effectively for that time segment, nothing significant happened, and we click the playmaker icon again to then determine the next time segment. Okay, so we clicked the playmaker icon. That rolled the possession dice, it rolled the playmaker dice, it rolled the foul and steal dice, and now we see the results. So the possession roll was 6. Well, that falls between the 1 to 31 range of Tristan Newton. So Castle passed the ball to Newton. Newton now has the ball in his hands. UConn still in possession of the basketball with 16 seconds on the shot clock. We'll look at the playmaker dice. The result was 28. Black again tells us Marquette maintained control of that particular time segment of the possession. So therefore, Newton does not make an offensive play. We also then know that the game engine checked, was there a foul? Was there a steal? Well, we can look here under the hood and see 84 was a steal roll, not between 1 to 61, so no steal occurred. 921 was the foul roll, not between 1 to 41, so no foul occurred. So once again, no offensive play by Newton, no foul committed by Marquette, no steal made by Marquette. So that 4-second segment, Tristan Newton had the ball, nothing really occurred. We click the playmaker icon again for the next segment. All right, so now we see that the possession roll was 68. Well, that is between the 51 to 72 of Castle. So Tristan Newton passed the ball to Stephen Castle. Castle has the ball, and we see the playmaker rule was a 19 blue, meaning UConn has control of that possession. So because of that, there can be no steal for Marquette. This roll might have happened and it was a 1, which would be 1 to 61, but because Marquette did not have control of the possession, they do not make a steal, nor did they commit a foul if the foul roll was in that range. UConn has possession, they have control of the possession with the blue 19, and the 19 roll is surpassed by Castle's offensive rating as 20. It has to be equal to or bigger than this playmaker roll. If so, then Castle makes a play. So with 12 seconds on the shot clock, Stephen Castle is going to make an offensive play. Now, how do we determine what that play is? Well, when there's an offensive play, and the game engine will determine this, it'll trigger everything and notify you. This offensive play dice will now show up. So the offensive play roll was a 56, and we look at Castle's player card. 56 comes between this 44 to 58 range, which means Castle is going to have an assist opportunity on an at the rim shot for a teammate. So he's going to make a pass to someone and he's going to have an assist opportunity for them. So we click the playmaker icon to determine who is going to be the recipient of that pass. And what will determine that is this assist roll down here to determine who's going to receive that pass from Castle. So we'll click the playmaker icon, the die is rolled, it's a 27, falls between 15 to 36, which is Alex Caravan. So Castle has made a nice pass to Caravan, and Caravan now has an at the rim shot for an opportunity to score. If he makes the shot, the assist to Castle. If he misses, no assist, and we'll see who gets the rebound. So we see here in the at the rim column for shooting percentage, these are the shooting percentages for the player in question who's Caravan. This is the at the rim percentage, the mid-range percentage, the three-point percentage, and their free throw shooting percentage. That's all right there. So 75 though corresponds to the at the rim shot that Caravan has. We will click the shot icon to determine does he make the shot or not. The roll is a 33, which is surpassed by his 75 shooting percentage rating. So Caravan has made the at the rim shot. Play-by-play bar tells us it's an at the rim made and it was assisted. So the play is now done. We click the playmaker icon to record the stat. You can see here, Caravan at the rim made, Castle the assist. You can see Caravan now has 2 points in the stat line. Castle has an assist. We can see the team and stats updated here. And now the possession is over. Now you see ELOB at the change of possession there after a bucket. That means Marquette is taking the ball end line out of bounds. They've got to go the full length of the floor now with the basketball. At each change of possession, when it is not a dead ball turnover or dead ball situation, so if it's an active defensive rebound, an active steal, or the opponent scores and there's no timeout taken or dead ball situation, the transition dice will be rolled when we record the stat of the play that just occurred. So that did occur after the bucket by Caravan. The roll was an 87. Well, for Marquette to have a transition opportunity after that score by UConn, the roll would have had to have been between 1 and 26. It was not. So no transition opportunity is there for Marquette. They're just going to walk the ball up the floor and start with their half-court offense. When that occurs, 10 seconds runs off the clock, both the game and the shot clock. So I'm going to click the playmaker icon, and Tyler Kolek, the point guard, is going to bring the ball up the floor and initiate the offense. So we click that, and Marquette has possession. So again, playmaker icon, roll the possession die. 10 is the number. That is between Kolek's 1 to 36. He's got a pretty high range there because he made a lot of plays from Marquette, so he's going to have the ball in his hands a lot. But he has the ball in his hands. And then we check the playmaker dice roll. It's a black 31, meaning that UConn has control of that time segment of possession. So Kolek is not going to be able to make an offensive play. Now, UConn could, though, commit a foul, and UConn could, though, steal the basketball. But we look at the rolls there. They were 826 on the foul. They were 1,000 on the steal, not between their 1 to 47 and 1 to 48 range. So no steal occurred, no foul occurred. Kolek has the ball. We click the playmaker icon again to determine the next time segment. The possession roll is 81. That means Kolek gave the ball up to David Joplin, being between 72 to 82. Joplin has the ball. We can also see, though, the playmaker die roll was a 6 black, meaning, again, UConn maintains the upper hand in that possession. No steal occurred, and no foul committed by UConn. So again, nothing happens in that 4-second time segment. Click the playmaker icon again. The possession is 26. That's in Tyler Kolek's range. So Joplin gets the ball back to Kolek. We look at the playmaker dice, 21 black. Again, black meaning UConn has the upper hand in that possession. Kolek can't make a play. But again, no steal for UConn and no foul committed by UConn. So we click the playmaker icon once more. It takes another 4 seconds off. The possession roll is 41. That means Stevie Mitchell received the pass from Kolek. Mitchell has the ball. Marquette actually has control of the possession, but Stevie Mitchell's offensive rating is only 11, which is fairly low. He didn't make a lot of plays on his own, and the playmaker roll was a 27. Therefore, he does not make a play. Now, because again, it's blue, you can't steal the ball and they won't commit a foul, but also Stevie Mitchell won't make an offensive play. So we click once more, and now the possession roll is a 24. That goes to Tyler Kolek. Kolek's offensive rating is 27. You can see here the playmaker roll was a 22, blue. So blue meaning Marquette had the upper hand. 22 is surpassed by Kolek's 27. So Kolek will make an offensive play with 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Automatically again, that offensive play roll will show up on Kolek's card. It's a 71. We check down the chart. 71 falls between 61 to 95. Cole is going to set up a teammate with a 3-point opportunity. So an assist opportunity for Kolek. He's going to find a teammate for a 3-point shot. We click the playmaker icon to determine who he throws the pass to. And it ends up in the hands of Cam Jones. The roll was a 51 on the assist. That's between his 1 to 58. So Cam Jones has the ball. He's got a spot up 3-point shot, possibly assisted by Cole if he hits it. So that's where we're at. So Jones, let's see what happens. He clicked the shot icon. It's a 57. Jones has missed the 3-point attempt, so no assist for Kolek. We will record that stat by clicking the playmaker icon. That will automatically roll the rebound dice to see who gets the rebound. And that roll is a 33, which corresponds to the 25 to 39 for Tristan Newton. Tristan Newton has grabbed a defensive rebound. We will record that stat because that's a live ball situation. The transition dice will be rolled to see if maybe UConn can push the ball in transition for an opportunity. That roll is a 19. That's between 1 to 70 for UConn. So Newton has the rebound. He's going to push the ball in for a transition opportunity. We're going to click the playmaker icon. 4 seconds will come off the clock, and we'll see if they're successful in that transition opportunity. So we roll the die. The possession dice is 81. So Newton got the rebound, pushed it in transition, got it to Stephen Castle. Castle has the ball. Now, I will point out when there's a transition opportunity, the offensive rating that will show up here in blue will be the team offensive rating, and it's going to be equal to the power rating for that team. So when you get a transition opportunity, it will always be 54. When Marquette has a transition opportunity, it will be 50 because that's their offensive rating there. Now this is blue, meaning UConn has the upper hand in that time segment, and 54, their offensive rating surpasses the 36 of the roll. So they're going to make a play. So when it's a transition opportunity, this offensive rating is going to be reflective of the team rather than the player. And again, they're going to make a play. The roll is a 24 for the offensive play in transition. We look at the chart, that's 1 to 28. So Tristan Newton got the rebound, pushed it in transition, got it to Stephen. Castle's going to make an offensive play. It's an at the rim shot. So he's going to take it to the rim. So we roll the die, and the result is a 22. Now you can see here, he didn't just make the shot, but he dunked it. So the way we have this here is every player has a dunk rating based on the percentage of their real life at the rim shots that were dunks. Those stats are kept, and that's part of what goes into the dunk rating. When there's an at the rim shot, if the shooting number rolled is less than the dunk rating of the player that's taking the at the rim shot, it's going to be a dunk. So in this case, Stephen Castle throws one down in transition, crowd goes wild, and we record that play. See here now, Castle's shot is recorded. We see his points are now here. UConn now is up 4-0. We have a change of possession. Marquette end line out of bounds. They've got to bring it the length of the floor. There was a change of possession, so the transition die was rolled. It's a 7. That's between Marquette's 1 to 26. So Kolek is going to try to push the ball after that transition bucket for UConn to maybe get a quick opportunity for Marquette. So we're going to click the playmaker icon, and this is the result. We have 51 for the possession, so Kolek pushed it ahead to Stevie Mitchell. Stevie Mitchell has the basketball. You can see his card here. Now, in transition opportunities, we don't just have to have the roll be a blue and 50 or less for Marquette to make a play. There's a possibility if it's black in a transition situation that the offensive team can still make a play, but it will be a forced contested play by the defense. And the way that we will know that is if this is a black roll, but that number is higher than UConn's transition defensive rating, then Marquette will still get a shot off, but it'll be the shot forced by UConn. Now, these at the rim, mid-range, three-point, and turnover numbers are reflective of UConn's stats in transition against their opponents offensively. 6 is the offensive play roll, so Stevie Mitchell is going to take a contested at the rim shot against the UConn transition defense. His percentage is 64. Let's roll and see what happens. It's a 6. He would have made it, but we have a block. So Donovan Clingan's hustled back defensively, denies the at the rim shot by Stevie Mitchell. How did that happen? Well, every time a shot is taken, the block dice rather will be rolled and compared to the block ratings of the players on the floor for UConn. Also, the foul dice will be rolled for the defensive team. So it's possible that based on that shot and the defensive ratings, a foul could have occurred, but it did not. But here a block occurred because the roll was 139. Donovan Clingan's range is 93 to 252 on the block chart. So a block has occurred. So we record the stats, the missed shot for Mitchell, the block for Clingan, and then the rebound dice will be rolled. So we click the playmaker icon to record the stat line, and the rebound dice is rolled, and the result is a 31. That falls between 25 to 39. So Tristan Newton has grabbed the defensive rebound after the block by Clingan. We record that stat. It will roll the transition die, opportunity die, to see if there's a transition opportunity, and there is. The roll is a 30. It's between 1 to 70 for their rebound transition opportunity. So we're going to click rather the playmaker icon to determine what happens with that transition opportunity. We see here that the ball went to Cam Spencer. 47 was a possession roll. It's between his 36 to 57. But a steal has occurred. Now, how did that occur? Well, it occurred because the playmaker die was a black 5. Black meaning Marquette had control or upper hand in that transition opportunity. And because of that, the steal die for Marquette comes into play. The roll was a 22, which is between Stevie Mitchell's 14 to 31. So Stevie Mitchell has stolen the ball from Cam Spencer. So we're going to click the playmaker icon here and record that stat. And then the transition die for Marquette will be rolled to see if they have a transition opportunity off of that steal. And they do not. The roll is a 76. The steal rating is 1 to 66, so no transition. But they'll bring the ball up the floor. Again, a transition or a change of possession without a fast break opportunity. 10 seconds is going to run off the clock. We click the playmaker icon. There's 18:54 left in the first half. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Possession die is 88, so the ball went to Iguodara. Iguodara has the ball. We can see the playmaker die is a 41 black, meaning that UConn has the upper hand for that time segment of the possession, which means a steal or foul could occur based for UConn. Neither did based on these die rolls. And Iguodara also, though, can't make an offensive play, so nothing occurs in that time segment. We click again, 4 seconds come off. Possession die is 57. The ball goes to Cam Jones, 47 to 71. And we can see here the playmaker die roll is a 10 blue, meaning Marquette has possession, control of the possession. Also means there cannot be a steal by UConn. And we can see Cam Jones' offensive rating is a 23, so it's bigger than the playmaker die roll. So Cam Jones is going to make an offensive play. The offensive die roll is a 60. It shows up when there's automatically when there's an offensive play to be made. We go down the chart. That's 57 to 67. Cam Jones has an assist opportunity coming on an at the rim shot for a teammate. We will click the playmaker icon to see who he passed it to. Assist die roll is an 18. That falls in the 18 to 41 range. So he makes a pass to Stevie Mitchell, who's going to take an at the rim shot for a possible bucket and assist. His shooting percentage at the rim, all factors included, is 68%. We click the shot icon. The roll is a 33. It would have been good, but once again, Donovan Clingan with the block, because on the at the rim shot, we click it for the shot results, but the block die is also rolled. The result's 239, but that's between Clingan's 93 to 252. He has another block. We record that. It rolls the rebound die, which is a 75. That falls into the range of Alex Karaban. Karaban has a defensive rebound. We're going to record that stat and also roll the transition die for UConn. That roll is a 22, so UConn has a potential transition opportunity. Karaban gets it up the floor and gets it to Donovan Clingan because the possession roll was 94, so he passed ahead to Clingan. Clingan has it in transition, and it's a blue, meaning UConn has control of the possession. 29 for the playmaker. Dice roll is lower than the 54 transition offensive rating for UConn, so they're going to make a play. We see the 70 roll for the offensive play. Check the chart. It's a mid-range assisted shot, so Clingan is going to pass to a teammate for a mid-range shot in transition. Click the playmaker icon to see who gets the ball, and the roll is 86. The ball goes back to Karaban. Between his numbers between 83 to 100. The roll is 86. He gets it, and Karaban does not shoot well for the mid-range in transition, so his opportunity is only a 1% chance. So he's going to take the shot here, and I'll do in another video, I'll explain the factors that go into the shooting percentages for each player. There's a base percentage they shot in real life, but there are other factors that go into that can bump the number up or down. I'll explain that more in depth in another video. But again, very low percentage shot for Karaban. He takes it and misses, obviously. And we're going to record that stat and roll the dice rolls of 59. That means Iguodala has received the defensive rebound for Marquette. You can see that listed here. We click the playmaker icon to record the stat and roll the transition die for Marquette. That transition die is a 24. So Marquette's going to try to push the ball up the floor. Click the playmaker icon to see what happens. Possession is a 59 roll, so it went ahead to Cam Jones. Cam Jones has the ball. It's a blue 43, blue meaning Marquette with control of the possession. And 43 is surpassed by the team offensive rating in transition of 50. So Cam Jones is going to make a play. 53 is the offensive play. We check the chart. 35 to 53 is the range. That means Cam Jones has the ball in transition. He's going to pull up and take a three-point shot of his own. We click the icon for the shot. The percentage roll is a 38, so he missed. We click the playmaker icon to record that stat. Also to roll the rebounding dice. The result is 87. That means Donovan Clingan has pulled down the defensive rebound. We record that stat, and then also that will automatically roll the transition die for UConn, and the result is 31. So there is a transition opportunity for UConn. So Clingan with the ball, he will push it up the floor because the possession is a 94, which is between his 93 to 100 range. So he's going to bring the ball up the floor. The roll is a 41 blue. So UConn with control of the possession. 41 surpassed by their team 54 rating for transition offense. So they make the offensive play rolls an 82. We check the chart. It's a 71 to 93 for Clingan, which means he's going to get the ball up the floor to a teammate for a three-point opportunity, possibly assisted. So we click the playmaker icon to see who it goes to. The roll is 26. That falls in the range of 1 to 27 for Tristan Newton. So Newton is going to take the three-point shot in transition. His percentage is 38%. We take the shot, and he drains it. So a three-point made assisted in transition for UConn. We click the playmaker icon to record the stat. You can see here Newton's made shot is here. Clingan's assist is here. There was a change of possession. Marquette has the ball, end line out of bounds to bring it all the way up the floor. When we recorded that previous stat, the transition dice was rolled. 57 is not within the 1 to 26 range after an opponent scores, so no transition opportunity for Marquette. So they will walk the ball up the floor, start the offense, and 10 seconds will run off the clock. All right, so that's going to do it for this deeper dive, this slower look at the game engine and gameplay for Tournament Dreams College Basketball. The next video will be a little quicker paced, give a little bit more game action, a little longer time frame from the game itself, but we'll move a little quicker. But I hope this has given you a good insight into the game engine, maybe slowed things down enough to help things become a little clearer with how all the mechanics work. So thank you again for watching this video. And if you want more information about the game or want to keep up to date on happenings for the game, you can go to our website at www.tournamentdreamscbb.com. You can also follow us on Facebook and keep up to date with more information about the game and our upcoming release date. Once again, thanks for watching.